Hello, darlings. This is the Oracle Shariananda, and today I am going to talk to you about dreams. Many of you have all kinds of dreams, and you never know how to deal with them. Many of you don't keep any records of them. You remember the outstanding ones, but many times, no matter what kind of dream it is, you cannot figure out what it means to your life and what you're supposed to do with it. Well, I am something of a dream expert and authority. I've been dreaming since I was a child. I've been dreaming in many different areas, in the area of prophecy and in the area of warning, in the area of past lives, and also in my daily life. So today I want to help add to the cadre of your own knowing about what your dreams mean and provide for you a template to begin to study your dreams and use them as a means to teach yourself what you need to know, and when your higher self is teaching you what is necessary for you to take your next big steps in life. Dreams are not frivolous, and most times they are meaningful for us. So I cannot interpret all of your dreams, but I can tell you how to approach them so that you can interpret them. Of course, I am available for workshops to teach these things and to take you into dream consciousness so that you can learn about them more for yourself. But today, I am going to take you into several parts to discuss dreams. First of all, let's define dreams. Dreams is that state of awareness when one is sleeping that makes reality shift from the way we ordinarily understand it into the possibilities for impossibilities, as well as places and times and people. Some you know, some you don't know, some in color, some in black and white, some in pieces and some in whole stories, some with angels and some with demons, some with animals and some not. So we have a lot that we can show you today. So let us begin. About dreams. Dreams, in the first kind of dream that we can have is kind of a general hodgepodge dream. It's a dream where your mind is downloading and offloading all the sensory overload and slush that you've had from today. Keep in mind that on any given day, you see and process thousands and thousands of bits of information, some of which you actually focus on, like the guy who's stumbling down the street, and you can see that he's a drunk, but you may not have noticed that he stepped on a penny. You may not have ever seen the penny that he stepped on, but your mind did make note of it, and it would take maybe process of hypnosis or trance or some other kind of mind probing uninhibited expression to find out exactly what all you did see in that moment. So we see so very much more in our daily life than we ordinarily understand that we are in fact seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, feeling, and intuiting. So with all of that processing going on, we simply cannot be aware of everything. However, we are coming into a time where many of our great gifts, our full spectrum of knowing, will return to us, especially those of us who have been meditating, those of us who have been trying to awaken from our dreams into the realization of who we really are, and also to see life for the illusion it is, and to reach eternally and everly toward God. But that is a subject for another day. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about dreams. So, the first category of dream that I would like to put to you is simply the download and offload of the extrasensory slush that you have. So, if you had a big day and you went from one thing to the other, when you lie down in bed, you might see many pictures of things you did for the day and have trouble falling asleep, or getting your mind to slow down and quiet down so that you can. And once you do, you may see repetitions of the things that have gone on in the day. This is closely akin to the dream where you also have had a traumatic experience and you may relive that in dreams. So the download and offload of slush. So you clear out your mind in a way and drop those things away so that you can start a new day ready to take on that day with its memories, its impressions, and its observations. The second kind of dream I'd like to bring to your attention is the recall of instances. And again, it's not far from the slush, except for slush doesn't have any order to it. Anything might show up. And since you may not have the control of your mind or the control of your thoughts that you would like to have, anything really can and does often show up in the constant talk that goes across the surface of the mind. If you believe that talk, then sometimes you get sucked into emotional quagmires that make you act and feel as if you have no hope, you have nothing that you can believe in that will save you from the agonies of your own mind. But I assure you that if you get control over your dreams, there is very much that you can control. So the recall of instances is like a traumatic day where you're looking back at the fact that you maybe say were fired that day, and you replay that and see if you could have done something different, and you go back into your past files in your mind of how you behaved at that job and how people behaved toward you. And that is how you actually operate as you lay in bed dreaming and recalling and going over and over what could have been or should have been or might have been and what ought not have been and what you could have done or what you should have done. So you'll give instances. These dreams are primarily surface dreams. They're dreams full of anxiety and stress often. They're dreams where you're just simply trying to understand the vicissitudes of life, things that have come upon you that you simply want to work out. And that takes us to the third thing. There are dreams where your feelings and thoughts are translated into symbols. So sometimes you have a dream where your boss is telling you, go and make something to eat. And you're trying to figure out why your boss from your work is talking to you like he's your mother. But it may be that the boss has now become a symbol of your mother. And if you will listen to your mother, then listen to your boss. And that's all the dream is trying to do, is make you make the correlation between your mother and your boss. And you might, of course, come up with some other interpretation of that particular piece of a dream. It might be all that you remember from the dream. And if that is the case, then that will be what you'll take away from it. No part or no whole dream is insignificant, and all dreams are worthy of being recorded and kept and reviewed from time to time. It is the way to learn your inner metaphors and your inner vocabulary for your own dreams. So I am encouraging that with these several videos that I will make about dreams. You might want to know how thoughts or people get translated into symbols in your dreams, but I will talk about that after I have finished talking about the types of dreams that you may have. The fourth kind of dream, I think, is the resurrection of the past, or the resurrection of the past with people as symbols themselves. And the people may be symbols for a time, they may be a symbol for a process, they may be a symbol for your educational period, or it may be a stage of life. I have found in my own dream states that I frequently dream about the days when I was first in college. So whenever I go back to that spot, I wonder about whether or not I am mature or making mature choices. Because when I was in college, I blew off a lot of classes to play cards or to go drinking with my friends or to do so. Whatever it may have been that I did in college, I have to examine what I am doing in my life based on this particular dream. There is also the translation of dreams into times. So sometimes you might dream about a time period when you were very small. It may not be so much that the dream is about you as a small person, but what you're seeing are the artifacts of the time period, say the 50s, the 60s, or the 70s. And if that's the case, you want to know why those particular artifacts are there. It might be that there is something back in that time that you need to bring forward or let go. So these are some of the ways in which we can use our dreams to help us understand our lives and take direction from our higher selves. Another type of dream is past lives dreams. Now, they're difficult to identify unless you literally see that the person or personages in the dream are your family and you are yourself, except for you have another skin color. You live in another area of the world. You wear different clothing, but you recognize yourself as yourself. Now, I have had many dreams about myself as a pair of African young men as twins, and I've had dreams of myself as a white woman who had two sons in Nebraska. And I have had dreams of myself as one of several young women who lived in a dormitory going to college in New York City as a young woman. And because I've had these dreams repeatedly, not the same dream, but I see the people again and again, then because I write my dreams down, I recognize them as past lives. So past life dreams can be helpful, especially to know who you've been, to give you a sense of how you're making choices now and whether you've grown or matured in any way. You also can delight in having a sense that your life and your lifeline as a spirit or a soul being is evermore and going ever on. So in truth, your body is the least important part of who you are. It is simply a mechanical machine made of flesh and made of incredible technology from heaven that is divine, but it is disposable. Who you are is not. Who you are is immortal. Number 6, your dream may be a prophetic warning. And if that's the case, you will feel it profoundly. You will dream, say, that there is a car accident and someone you know is in it. And it may scare you or startle you so badly that you spring up in the bed. And you say, oh my God, is that going to happen? Oh, I'm so afraid. Let me call and see if my mother, my brother, my cousin, my sister, my uncle, my neighbor, whoever it is okay. And you say, well, I had this dream that this happened to you, so please be careful. And more times than not, no harm will come to your loved one. What you're being told is that there is a serious condition to be reckoned with, that there might be clashes, or there may be some unsettled business in your own subconscious, some unforgiveness that will come to a head and be uncomfortable and possibly without the peace of understanding between you unless you work that out. It also could be that you have not made an important decision and you've been putting it off, or maybe paying a bill, or maybe deciding to leave from where you live, or divorce someone. If you wait till decision comes upon you and you have no choices, then it will work out however the consequences are most unfavorable to you. So sometimes you're giving prophetic warning so that you can make a choice before the end or the cliffhanger that you are finding yourself at comes into being. But there are very much prophetic dreams that warn you about, say, riding on a plane. I myself have had dreams of dying in plane crashes. But for me, it's flying so high without proper grounding. Sometimes it's about believing in things that are really airy-fairy and have no grounding to the earth. And so I will crash if I follow that path. I'm told that. But I actually got off a plane once because I suspected that it would crash. It did not, but I had such a strong feeling about it that I decided that I should make the people let me off the plane. So one thing's for sure, Your dreams, when they're full of that much resignation, when they resign, when they reverberate so much, then the thing is to follow the course of that dream so that you yourself may avoid danger. And if you're given a cautionary dream, please follow it. And certainly don't hesitate to tell your minister, or if you're a young person, a teacher, a mother, an authority figure about it. And do not hesitate to ask for professional help, because sometimes it's just a matter of decisions and states of being. Sometimes it's about things that are trying to come to the surface that you have long since forgotten, but they did you emotional or psychological damage, and your mind is trying to clear the charts. So I encourage you to follow your dreams. A seventh way that our dreams can be identified are as projections of our wishes. If you would like to fly, you may sometimes see yourself flying in dreams. If you would like to take a trip, but you feel like you have been unable to take it, then you might see yourself riding on a train. If you have wanted to go back to school, but you think you might be too old, or you can't get the funding together, or you can't seem to get a scholarship, or if you have been wanting a job, or any of the various human conditions that make us wishful, then in our dreams we may see ourselves trying to catch a train, a bus, a plane to somewhere, but we keep missing it. Or we may find that the bus or the train or the car has left us. These are some of the ways in which we're being told that we need to get on the case and move ourselves forward because we're holding our lives up. I might say also that in the matter of the projection of your wishes, sometimes a dream will keep coming back to you time and time again until you actually make a move in the direction that the dream is pointing. So if you keep dreaming about walking down this one road, then perhaps it is very important that you get out of the place you live or the place where you are not walking to, and follow the untraveled road to the next step that is there for you. An eighth way that dreams speak to us are as the language of our guides. Now, each of us has any number of guides who cannot be seen, who are working with us and setting things in place for us at every moment of every day. Most of us take no notice of them, nor do we speak to them, nor do we actually believe that they exist. But some things are true whether you believe them or not. So I tell you, if you have a dream where it feels like someone's teaching you, where you're in a temple, or where you're sitting in an audience, or whether you're in school, these are dreams of the language of your guides. And sometimes they use very particular language to show you what they want you to know. And that language is symbolic as well. And I'll say some more about those symbologies and that language in the next part. A ninth way that your dreams may present themselves are at problem solving. So you're trying to figure out how you can get a point from point A to point B, or get someone to understand what you mean. You just say, I know that I have the power to solve all things through God, who is my universal source. If you refer everything that you do to the Heavenly One, it is very likely that your guides, your angels, or even your deceased relatives who look in on your life from time to time may be able to whisper in your ear, in the language of dreams, a solution that will be good for you and your family, you and your loved ones, and give your heart peace. And finally, that kind of dream, as a problem solving dream, will make you feel so great that you went to sleep with a problem and you woke up with a solution. This we call sleeping on a matter. So use your dreams to help you take care of those things that are troubling you, that you have no solution for, and you start to pay attention. In the next video, I will talk to you about your dream vocabulary. This is part 1 of About Dreams. Thank you. I am the Oracle, Shariananda.